So, welcome to our next episode of Outside the Office. Today, I'm joined with Alexis Jenkins. Uh, Welcome. Let's start by if you could tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from Northwest Indiana. And before I ever thought of being an attorney, I was a theater kid. So I went to undergrad in Bloomington and studied theater and film, made a documentary, directed some plays. It was a great time. But after I had been there for a little bit, I wanted to do something a little different, a little more challenging. So I worked at a firm for a little bit to get some experience with that. And eventually found myself at IU Mauer for law school. And I just graduated this past May. While I was in law school, I worked at U.S. Customs and Border Protection. There's an office in Indy, believe it or not. A lot of people don't know that. And I also worked for, was a part of some student orgs, the IU Public Interest Law Foundation and the Center for Constitutional Democracy. But I'm excited to be here now in Indy. Me and my husband moved here in May. And, we're really enjoying living in Indy and, getting started on our careers here. So
Absolutely. So I'll jump right in. We got a series of questions for you just to help people get to learn about you a little bit. Question number one, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Sure. So I was torn between flying and time travel, but time travel can get messy. So I thought I should go with flying, just be really cool. I would love to be able to get around that way. But yeah, definitely not time travel. That'd be really cool, but it would mess things up.
Gotcha. Question number two, what is your favorite restaurant in Indy?
I haven't been to many, and I've gotten lots of recommendations from everybody at the firm. But my favorite right now is Livery. Big fan of empanadas, which is when I saw that on their menu, I thought we got to take my brother here for his birthday. So that's how I experienced Livery, and it's my favorite for now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Question number three, if you were not doing your current job and money were no object, what would be your alternative dream job?
Oh gosh, of course it would be producing theater and film or directing theater and film. I think I'd be pretty good at it, but that's a long, hard road
Right.
that I was just not willing to take. But I think I would really, really, I mean, I know I love it. I had a little bit of experience with that in undergrad. And I'm hoping to find some hobbies where I can, indulge that a little bit, but yeah, that's what I would.
Next question, what is your favorite movie? I bet you have, with your theater background, that was probably a tough one.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting there and I'm trying to think of movies. Usually this question comes up in the form of what's your favorite Disney movie? And I'm not the biggest Disney person, but Tangled is by far my favorite Disney movie. But as far as like favorite movie overall, I don't have a specific one, but one that comes to mind is There Will Be Blood. I like those sort of movies, kind of thriller, layered, like layers upon layers.
Yeah,
I like historical stuff. I don't really have a specific favorite one though, but I like ones like that.
Yeah, that movie is intense. The music in that movie in specific scenes just builds up emotion and intensity.
Yeah.
It's really wild.
Yeah, no, I like when sound is used right, and when it's a slow build. It's good.
Yeah, no, I think that movie absolutely knocked it out of the park with sound, with the music.
For real.
All right, next question. What is your favorite TV show currently?
So right now, they just had the finale for Rings of Power. That was great. I really enjoyed watching that one. It was like a whole new movie every time. We're also watching House of the Dragon right now. But I really loved the Rings of Power. I think that's great.
Are you on Team Green or Black for House of Dragon?
Oh gosh, not green. No, I don't know about that one. I like that one. It's just a little predictable. I don't know. I prefer the other one.
Gotcha. The original game, or are you saying the Ring of Power?
The Ring of Power, but I also prefer the
The
original
original
Game of Thrones. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's kind of just the same thing with this new series, but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Next question. Do you have any pets? If so, what kind and what's their name?
Yes, I do. I was hoping she'd be here. She's over there, but she's sleeping. Her name's Sala. She's a fluffy tortie cat. Um, she's about 3, but yeah, she's my baby.
Go. All right. Next question. This is a tough one. Does a
Oh.
drinking straw have one continuous hole or 2 holes?
Oh, I think it has 2 holes. As I was thinking this one through, I kept thinking, okay, if it were like a tunnel in the ground and you had 2 holes, that like it would have 2 holes, but it'd have 1 tunnel. So I think I think it has 2 holes.
It's a if you look online, it's a big argument online. Yeah.
Wow.
Some people are very confident in their understanding of what a straw is.
Right.
It's pretty funny.
I think it has 2 holes.
Yeah. I agree with you. You should hear some of the arguments about the one.
Okay.
But yeah. So next question: if you could have coffee with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
This one I wasn't sure on, but and I feel like usually maybe people would answer with like a famous person or something. But the person that comes to mind is my Uncle Ken. He passed away like 10 years ago. We were always really close. And he just seemed to get me. So I'd like to talk to him now as like an adult. I think that would be a good conversation, especially over coffee.
Yeah.
So that's the person I'd talk to.
Next question: the zombie apocalypse is coming. Who are 3 people you'd want on your team?
Well, my husband, he's a great partner, so I'd have him on my team. Also, my dad is super handy and he's very calm and collected. I feel like he would do well in a zombie apocalypse. And then either my best friend Abby, who's a nurse and has that, medical side of everything, which you would probably need in a zombie apocalypse. Or I have a friend Nolan who just knows everything about the world and is also very handy and can like figure things out. And but yeah, those are the people I would have with me.
So not your cat.
No, she would. Yeah, I've often thought what would happen if the world was falling apart and I had to figure out what to do with my cat, and it's not. I hate thinking about that.
All right. Well, next question: 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s? Which decade do you love the most, and why?
It's between the 70s and the 90s. Not the 80s. I've told my dad before. A lot of like 80s and 70s music is nostalgic for me, even though I wasn't alive at the time, because my dad listened to that music. Like when I was a kid, we would clean to it. But probably the 70s. I just like I like the sound of the 70s. Some interesting style choices at that time, and the wide-legged pant is coming back. So I've been exploring that route, that style route. So right now it's the 70s, but the 90s is also great too. We recently went to Seattle, and so I got to see where grunge was born. And I know I can see why grunge started in Seattle. It's moody out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. So,
cool.
But yeah, probably I'd have to go with the 70s.
Nice. I'd go with the 60s.
The 60s, yeah, it'd be cool.
Yep. Well, thank you very much for your time. And I appreciated learning more about you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I've had a good time chatting with you too.
All righty. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.